Hello guys, welcome to C Hash or C Sharp tutorial session 12. In today's tutorial, I will discuss what is multidimensional array, how we can add or update element values in multidimensional array, how we can display multidimensional array element in console with the help of for each loop. So C has support multi-dimensional array up to 32 dimension. In the last session you already seen about the one dimensional array, how we can define the array, how we can write add the value to the array, how we can update the value to the array, how we can get the length of the array. So in today's session you can learn about the multi-dimensional array. C hat supports multi-dimensional arrays up to 32 dimension. The multi-dimensional array can be declared by adding comma in the square bracket. For example, this particular square bracket and single comma declare two-dimensional array, whereas third bracket and 2 comma declares three-dimensional array, 3 comma declares four-dimensional array, and so on. In case you are declaring 7 comma means it's 8-dimensional array. So in a multi-dimensional array, number of commas equal to number of dimension minus 1, or you can say number of dimension equal to number of commas plus 1. The multidimensional array is also known as rectangular array in C hash. The following example declares multidimensional array. In case you want to declare two-dimensional array, so data type, then third bracket, then one single comma. In case you want to declare three-dimensional array, data type, third bracket, and 2 comma. In case you want to declare four-dimensional array, data type, third bracket, 3 comma, and the array name. That is the way you can define 2 to 32 dimensional array in C hash. A two-dimensional array can be thought of as a table. It's a tabular form which has x number of rows and y number of column. So it will be row and column. So for every row there will be multiple column. Similarly, second row, third row, fourth row, and column will be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So in case you are declaring your dimension as suppose the 3 cos 3 matrix, it is two dimensional 3 cos 3. So your row will be 0 to 2, 0, 1 and 2, and column will be also 0 to 2, right? 3 cos 3. So in case your row is x, so value will be going from 0 to x minus 1, and column is y, so value will go from 0 to y minus 1. So there are the couple of way where you can define two-dimensional array, right? So data type, then third bracket, comma, array name, and within second bracket you can define the row number, within second bracket again, comma, and again second bracket, again another row. Okay, and you can close it. Otherwise, you can use the new operator and then you can declare two-dimensional array, or sometime with the help of the string, right, or the data type, you can define the size of the array here and then you can add the value. Apart from that, there is another way where you can first declare the array, then you can initialize the value, then you can traverse it. So these are the couple of way I will be letting you know how you can deal with the multi-dimensional array. So now let's go to the Visual Studio 2022, and in the main method first we will try to define a simple two-dimensional array. So int data type, third bracket, then it's a two dimension, it will be 1 comma, right? Here I can give, you could see suggestion is coming, so here I can give the name of the array, say int array 2D dimension, right? And here I can directly define the value. Okay, so within the double bracket it's 2 dimension, so I can define like again second bracket 1, 2, 3, that is my first row. I can close it, right? So that is my first row, and column will be three columns, so 0, 1 and 2, and this will be first row, it means 0th row, and then again I can give another bracket, I can create more like 4, 5, 6. So that is the way I can define two-dimensional array, and I need to close with semicolon. So row is 2 and column is 3, so it is a 2 cos 3 dimensional array, right? Then if I want to access a particular element, right, how I can do it? So accessing an element in the array is I need to give the array name, then row and column indexing. This is not the row column number, it is the indexing, because row will start from 0 to n minus x minus 1, column is 0 to y minus 1. So suppose say I want to access this, right? Then how can I do it? So I will be using Console.WriteLine for printing it. Then I need to take the array name and need to give the third bracket, and then here I need to give the row index and column index. So this is the second element in the first row, so rows will be 0 here, right? And column index will be 1 because it's the second one. And then if you could see now it will be right, first row and second column, and it will printed the value as 2. Similarly, if you want to access this, right, so it will be second row and third column. So second row and third column, so value will be as 6. So if I want to access this, how can I do it? So second row means 2 minus 1, so it will be 1, and third column means 3 minus 1, 3 minus 1 equal to 2. So that way you can access it. Now if you run your code, you could see the value will be coming as 2 and 6. Okay, so that is the way I can access a particular element in the multi-dimensional array or two-dimensional array. Now second thing, in case you already defined the value of the array but still you want to update it, because you can update your array value n number of times, right? So how can I do it? So you need to go to the array name, then the row and column, and then you can update any value. Suppose say here instead of 2 I want to update it to 12, right? So how can I do it? I will just take the reference of this particular element, right, which is the first row and second column, and I can update, instead of 2 I can update it to 12, right? Now if you want to print it out, right, so you can get it, so it will be 12, because after updated it will be 12. So initially it will be 2 and 6, then after updated, so it will be 12. You could see it's coming as 12, and you can update your any array element n number of times. So suppose say same element I am updating to 12, then 22, and then 32, right? But in case you want to access it after update, it will take the latest update value, which will be 32 here. So now it will be printed as 32, because it will take the latest updated value whenever you want to access any element value. So you can see it is coming as 32. So that is the way, right? You can add any value to a multi-dimensional array. You can access the element particular to specific to your row and column index using that one, and you can update your value, element value, n number of time, but you will take the latest value whenever you want to display in the console, right? Now we will see how we can iterate the array, because it is two dimension, not the single one dimension. So either you can use like two for loop, which is the inner for loop and outer for loop, right? Outer for loop will traverse to the row, and inner for loop will traverse to the column. For every row it will traverse to the column, and otherwise you can use for each loop. So I will show you the two way. So now another method is there, which is already similar to single dimensional array, length, right? Length method. With the help of that you can get the length of the desired array. Now say I want to print out the length here. Console array dot length. Now if you print it out, so array's length is kind of 6, so it will be coming as 6. Now if you just change the right, add few more value, say I want to add one more row, it might be 7, 8 and 9. So it is now 3 cos 3 array, 3 row and 3 column. So now if you execute your code, or maybe I want to add one more column here, one more row, column will be same here. So I want to add one more row, maybe 17, 18 and 19. So now row is 4 and column is 3, so it's a 4 cross 3 array. So now it will, what is the, it will come, it is coming as 12, because total 12 elements is there, that is the length of the array. right? Now if you want to print out the variable values, the element values for the two-dimensional array, right? So you can use for loop, or either you can use for each loop. So for loop can be used to access the element in multi-dimensional array. So what I need to do, first I need to use a outer loop and then inner loop, then I can access it. So I'll be using first outer loop for, right? So for, so in case you already know row number and column, that part I will let you know. But in case you do not know the how many row, because no, so how can you do it? So integer I equal to 0, then mm, you need to iterate till length minus 1, right? Row minus 1. So I less than, right? You could see here integer array 2d, right? Dot length will not work because length will give you total length. So I need to reiterate for my row, right? So here you need to give dot get length of, because it is two-dimensional array. So first I will iterate the row. So first dimension, so it will be 0 1, okay. Then I can print out, right, that how many for every row. So that is the way I will be using console row number as well. You can get it for every row, the value will be displayed. Dot write here, not the write line, because I want to write it here. You can give something called row, then I can give some space, then concatenation sign I, again concatenation sign, and here I can give something called some space, right, colon and space. So that is the way I want to display here, and I need to end with semicolon. Then I need to reiterate for inner loop, right? That part I already iterate with the row part, not the column. So I'll be using another for loop here. For, then I can define something called j variable, because the same variable cannot allow here to, okay. So j variable, j equal to 0, and j will go equal to integer array get length. You could see it is coming as 1 because this is my second right, two dimensional. So second dimension, because I want to iterate now the column, and then j plus plus, okay. So first one row is the get length will be 0, for the column, right, it will be get length will be 1. Then so it will be j less than, not equal to, j less than, okay, and j plus plus. Then for I want to access the row and column, I mean array value, right? So here I will be using console dot write. Here I also use the write here to print it out. Then I can give the reference of the array here. What is the array reference? Integer array 2d, and I can give the bracket, then row value and column value, okay, and I can concatenate with some space so that it will give some space, okay. That part is done, and need to end with semicolon here, okay. Then I want to print it every line, new line, right? So Console.WriteLine, and then I will be closing that one, third bracket. Now let's see what the problem is coming here. Yeah, it will be not int, it will be I, okay. So for loop, it will be outer loop here for iterating the row, integer I equal to 0, I less than the array name dot get length I plus plus, right? Then I will be printing out, and here I need to give one bracket, okay. Then console dot write, and I want to print out that one row, the row number and some space with colon, and then what particular row number I want to print out the row wise value. Then I'll be iterating with some inner for loop which will give the column 1. So I'm creating new variable j equal to 0, and j will go till for the first index, right? Whatever variable is there, 4 size is 4 here, so it will go from 0 to 3, 3 minus 4 minus 1 equal to 3, right? J plus plus. Then I want to print out the array of I and j. I want to give some space over every element. I want to print in every new line. Okay, now if you run your code, you could see here the output. You could see the row 0, the first row. What is the value? 1, 32 and 3. So initially it was 2, but I have updated to 33, so it is coming as 1, 32 and 3 for the row 0, because this is my row 0, column 0, 1 and 2. Then row 1, it is appended 4, 5, 6 here. This is the row 1 value, and this is the row 2 value 7, 8, 9 here. The row 2 it is coming 7, 8, 9, and row 3 17, 18, 19 it is coming. So you could see based on my output row, then space, and then exact row number for every iteration outer loop, and then in colon, then space it is coming here. That part is coming from that out one console.write, and that part is coming the value, and here space is coming. So that is the reason one the space is coming, and I am using console.WriteLine, so every new line will be coming for every row. So that is the way you can get your desired output for displaying the value in the console for the two-dimensional array. Here we are having 3 row and 4 column. So that is the one way, right? You can deal with the any multi-dimensional array with the help of the row and with the help of the for loop. Here it will be 2 loops because it's 2 dimension, outer for loop and inner for loop. Then for each loop can be used exclusively to loop through element in a multi-dimensional array as well. So how what I need to do, I will be using for each. Here I need to define, your suggestion is coming here, integer. I can create a new variable, say I, then in, and then the old variable name here. This is the existing variable because that will be based on your data type. So here it will be data type and new variable, then for each, and you need to go with console. So console.WriteLine, and here you can just give directly I also. Otherwise, you can give it's like that one, so that it will suppose say bracket and then indexing 0, again ending the bracket, and then you can give something called comma I. So that is the way you can print it the value or display the value in the console with the help of the for each loop. Now let's try to run it and let's see. You could see here, no, not that one. Okay, sorry. Console, okay, not write line, it will be write system.console.write. It will be not console.write line, it will be system dot console.write. I think that is the method we need to use. Yeah. Now let's try to run the code and let's see. System.console.write. No, it is still not working. System dot, okay, I need to give here the bracket, not here. A system dot console line also should work. Let's see, now it should work. Yeah, so I was doing some mistake because, yeah, you could see here 132 like that is coming in a single row. Now I can give some space so it will be better visible. 1 space, 2 space, you can give it whatever way you want to display. So system.console.write it will give you, or you can use console.writeLine as well. see whether it's working or not. Console.WriteLine. Yeah, it is working. Okay, it is coming in different line, every line, all the element 1, 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17, 18, 19. So that is the way you can deal with multidimensional array where the data type equal to in. Now let's see how can I deal with a multi-dimensional, or sorry, two-dimensional array where like it is a type of a string. So this is the second way, right? Third way. This is another way I can define this array. So let's see how can I define the other way. So couple of way I have showed you to define the array in a single line, array declaration as well as the value declaration. So let's declare some array int, or let take the reference here. This is the another way, right? Array 2d uh, example 2, right? Here this is the way. Here you can use new keyword and int, and then you can give that third bracket, and here end with third bracket and give some comma, that because it is two dimensional, and then you can give the same way. Now you could see that message is gone. Now if you want to print out the value here, right, so again it will be, you need to give the variable name here. Okay, now if you can change the value also, right? Say I am giving 10, I am giving 11, and I am giving 12. Now if you want to execute it, so it will be display the value. So this is the another way you can define the array. You could see it's coming here. Okay, because those part is not visible. So if you scroll up your page, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 12 till that part is coming. So this is the another way, and you can define another string array as well. So what you can do here, this is the third way, right? So I'll be defining first data type called string, and then I can give the dimensions. So two dimension I am defining, so again comma, and say the array name string array, right? This is the array name equal to, then I can use new string and the row and column. So new string here, new string, and then row and column, right, row and column, because two dimensions, so I can keep 3 comma 2, so 3 dimension, and sorry, two dimension, but let's close it here, otherwise it is showing some error. Yeah, so 3 row 3 column 2, and here I can again within the double bracket, right, I can give the value, the same thing I can use it, and here it will be string, right? So here it is a how many row is 3 and column is 2, so I can remove that one. So it will be first, it will be 1, I can give anything like 1, I need to end with double quote because it's string, then 2, and then here 3, and here 4, at the string 5, and here the last element is 6. So that is the way within the double quote I need to define it. Now yeah, it's more double quote here. Okay, so yeah, string comma array, yeah, string, this is the dimension here, new string 3 comma 2, and I'm ending it, and here double bracket 1 2 3 4 5 6, ending with double quote. So some error is there. Let's see what's the error. Okay, string comma array name equal to new string. This is the row and column here, and 6, so it should work now. Okay, so here I have defined the string array, string, then as it is 2 dimension, so within the third bracket I am giving only 1 comma, because comma will be your dimension -1. The variable, I mean array name here, the new string 3 and 2, so 3 will be a row and 2 will be a column, so 3 row will be there, 1 2 is column name, 3 4 is another column value, right? So 1 2 will be in its first row, 3 4 will be second row, and 5 6 will be third row. Now if you want to print out the value, right, you can use it. You can check the length of the array as well. So here instead of int it will be string, and then you can simply print it out, and you can change the array old value. Okay, yeah, now if you run your code, you could able to see here it will display you the value for the string element for the string array and 2-dimensional array. You could see here it is coming as, now if you want to, yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now if you want to print out the length of the right array here, you can definitely get it with the help of that length method available in the array. So I can change it, and now if you want to access any single element, right, you can also do it. So you need to keep the row index and the column index. Suppose say I want to access 2, so what will be my row? It will be row will be 0 and column will be 1, right? So it will, I need to change the value here, so it will be display me 2, output will be 2 here. So that is the way, because it is the first row value, so 0th row, 0th column, 0th row, first column. Here row is 1 index, so 1 first row index, 0th column index, first row index, first column index. Here second row index, 0th column index, second row index, first column index. So that is the way you can access individual item as well. In case you don't want to print all the thing, or maybe you want to deal with only single element value, you can do that same way. Now you could see here 1 2 3 4 5 6, then again the 2 is coming because I want to access that element which is in the 0th column, first, sorry, 0th row and first column. So this is the value, 0th row, first column. And what is the length of the array? It is 6. Okay, so that is the way. In case it is string array, you can deal with that way. So this is the 3 way you can define the array, where you can define the array and the element value in the single line. Okay, now you can see, in case I don't want to define the array in a single line, maybe, right, I can define the array size for a 2-dimensional array, and couple of element I cannot define. Then what will happen to those element in case you did not declare it? Now let's try to define one more array. Okay, so how can I define it? So integer data type, I can define integer array, so it's 2-dimensional array, so I'll be giving that only one bracket, and I can give the array name, say int ar Let's see any inter element is there or not. No, not inter is there. Inter array, then equal to sign, right? So maybe I can give new operator, and then here I can need to give int and then row and column. So say three row and 3 column I want to define. Then I need to close with that way. So here it will be declaring declaration of two dimensional array. This is called declaration. So I am defining the type, I am creating the variable name, I am defining that how many dimension, and within the how many dimension I am defining, because it's two dimension, I am defining the row and column one. Then I can initialize the value. Initialization. So how can I define the value? So the array name, and then I can go with like 0 row and 0th index. So I can give any value, say 5. So it's a 3 cos 3. Let's try to give something 0 and 1 as 10. Then I mean for the first row, third column, I'm not defining any value. Okay, so total 9 element is the line 9, right? Array size will be 9, but I want to define suppose say value as 6 element only, say 15. Then you can give it 1 1, say 20, and then for the last one I can give like 2 and 1. So first, for the third row I don't want to define any value for the first column, and 2 and 2. So that is the way I can define the value. So 25 and 30. So that is called initialization. First the declaration, then it is initialization. Then I want to traverse the array. In case I already know the size of the array, I can give it hard coded. For traversing means 0 to size -1, then traversal. So I need to, similar way I need to use two loops, right? So I'll be using a for loop here for integer I equal to 0. Then what is the I mean row count 3, so definitely I will go till 2, so I'll less than 3 I can define it instead of that get length, right? I less than 3, because it is starting from 0, I plus plus. Then it is the outer loop here. Then I need to create a inner loop also. So here I'll be starting with inner loop, so I can go with integer j equal to 0. And what is the column here? So it will go for the column 1, so j less than 3 again, j less than 3, and j plus plus. It will be j. Okay, so j less than 3, j plus plus. Then here I want to print out. Okay, so I'll be using Console.write, not write line, it will be .write, and here I need to give the array int array, and then here I need to give the I comma j comma j comma j, and I need to give some space here, so I'll be concatenating with some space, so I can give it so that it will look like better, and I need to end with colon here, and I will be using new line Console.WriteLine. Here I need to give some space. Console.WriteLine. J less than 3, j plus plus. So for integer I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, and then here it will be again another inner loop. So for j equal to 0, and here it will be semicolon. Yeah, no issue. For if this is the outer loop, so I know that my row size is 3, so that is the reason I am starting with 0, and it is going till less than 3, I plus plus, and then for every outer loop I am traversing it for the column, so I will be using another inner loop, j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. I want to print out the value of I and j, means the exact element or index, and I want to give space, and I want to print it every new line. Now if you just here, if you just execute it, so you could able to see here whatever value is displayed. So 5, 10, and then third value will be 0 because I did not define anything, means it will take the default value. You could see here 5, 10, 0. So for the first row I have defined the first column, second column, but third column I did not define any value for the first row, so it is taking the default value of the data type. So for integer, default value will be 0, for double it will be 0.0, for string it will be null. Similar way for the second row, I have defined the 0 first column and second column. For third column there is no value, so 15, 20 and 0. Similarly for the third row, for the first column I did not define any value, right? 0th index, row 2 and column 0th is no value, so it is 0, 25 and 30. So that is the way, right? You can, there is another way. Instead of directly defining the size of the array, dimension of the array, initializing all the value, you can do in multiple way. So first way, you can define the data type, array name and dimension, and then you can, in case 2 dimension, you can give the row and column, and then in the next line you can initialize the value. So once the element, I mean size of the array is fixed, right? In case you are not defining the element, it will take the default value of the data type. Then you can traverse the array using for in outer for loop or inner for loop for the 2-dimensional array. Okay, so that's all from today's session. Thank you.